whatever deities are out there, please let my Wi-Fi hold out.
And all right, we should be on.
Okay. Yep. I think we're going.
For everyone who it does have a paid account or something with Twitch.
Oh, what?
No, I said that really wrong, but I was basically saying we are live right now to everyone who doesn't have to watch the advertisement video first.
Twitch Prime.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
So this is where we tell them all the juicy details.
Yep. All right. I think, Nate, we just need the dice up on the next to the pictures. Hey.
It's there. It's delayed. You see, I can't change my browser out of Roll20. I can't watch our stream.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
All right, so I think we're good to get started. Welcome everyone to Dice Orcs and Adventures, our third episode. Very excited to have you here tonight, and it's going to be a great time. A few quick announcements. Tomorrow, I believe, episode 3 will be up on YouTube as well. If you check out our YouTube channels, if you missed episodes 1 or 2, you can find them at our YouTube. Just search Dice Orcs and Adventures, and you can watch them all there and subscribe and comment about how awesome our faces are when we're reacting to crap that's happening. Into the Frying Pan is every week at 6. Sorry, making sure I'm muted here. Yep. At 6 p.m. Before the show starts, where we talk Dice Orcs and Adventures, the One Ring RPG system. The episodes will be posted in a couple days. So if you missed this week's, it was an interview / discussion with Nate, who plays Odo, on some of the upcoming things in tonight's episodes, as well as things in previous night's episodes, and looking at some of the mechanics. So that's awesome. Next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's March 17th, we are going to be starting another show called Lord of the Cards. It's cheesy because I'm from the 90s, but it is basically the Lord of the Rings LCG card game, and really cool. You get character cards like this, and you can play as your favorite heroes. This is my Rohan deck. You get basically you follow a storyline that is written by the company, but it's ever changing based on the foes that you put in the deck. So really excited. It's one of the top 6 card games as far as like interactive card games that you can play, voted last year. So check it out if you want to learn how to play and see what it's like. It's super fun, and you can play it either with 4 people or with 1 person. So it's one of those games that you can enjoy if you have like half an hour by yourself. We are trying to reach 50 followers on our Twitch show, and our goal to do that is by March 31st. So the last day of March, we are hoping to have 50 viewers. The night that we get 50 viewers, so this is kind of cool. The night that we hit 50 viewers, we are going to have a giveaway for a map of the region that the adventurers are in. So this is a homemade map of the region of Rune. Will be given away with a frame. We're going to post it on our Facebook page, which if you're not following, please follow our Facebook page. There will be a likeness of the picture, but in a couple of weeks, we'll actually have the picture in the frame to show you guys. So that's the night we reach 50 followers. We'll do a drawing for anyone watching during that time for that, and it will be sent out to you. Last announcement, also on March 31st, we are going to be doing a special Hobbit episode of the One Ring. It will only have hobbits in it. It's just going to be a nice fluffy thing to celebrate the week that the ring was destroyed. And so that's March 31st. More information will come in the next following weeks about that. And not really anything else. So with that, our adventure begins.
So is the intro playing right now?
No.
Oh,
it is not.
Sorry, is that my cue?
That was your cue.
All right,
the intro video.
Let me do this better than last time and not have all of our stuff going on.
Memories. Only the dead hold all memories, for only the dead have seen all ages. Only the dead have seen how it ends, what lays beyond the curtain of this world. It was the early afternoon when the attack came. Khamûl, second in command of the Nazgul, had reached his goal. The rule of Rhûn would be his in entirety. For ages uncounted, the men of Rhûn worshipped the Dark Lord. His power was undeniable, and his wrath was fearsome. Yet, for a short time, there was peace. One of the families of men still held to the ways of the Valar, and they ruled both those who worshipped Sauron as well as those who sought the simple life. But the Dark Lord would have no rival for loyalty, and his Easterlings were to remain a fighting force unparalleled by any man. Khamûl was gifted a ring of power, and his small country in Rhûn rose up with the followers of Sauron behind, allied with him, and overthrew the capital city of Romen, leaving it in ruins. Those who sought peace were scattered or killed, and Khamûl took the city of Nidol Armen and united the East, making a new capital for Rhûn, Dol Grim. But scattering those who did not worship Sauron was not enough. Khamûl bid a boon of his commander to forever crush any seeking to rise against him, should the need arise for him to leave his new kingdom on behalf of his master. A curse to forever cripple the line of Halmen. The Dark Lord now rebuilds his forces. Though his plans in Mirkwood were thwarted by the White Council, Khamûl stayed to continue the work of the Necromancer. Rhûn now lies in the hands of those Khamûl has trusted most. Yet, in the midst of this darkness, prophecy spoken long ago starts to come to fruition. A chance to bring hope to a dying kingdom, and to allow the men of the East a freedom which they have never known. As the chessboard is set up, the first pieces start to move. This is the prelude to the war that will engulf all of Middle-earth.
We're back on.
You go.
Okay, welcome. Tonight we have Issel sharing what happened previously on Dice, Orcs, and Adventurers.
After sailing away a number of days down the river and along the coast of the sea, myself and my companions were cornered by local soldiers. All of us were on edge until they noticed Lostariel and myself. Once speaking to the leader, he offered to take us to the land of the elves, which is where he thought us to be from. I suggested we go along with the idea because as Western elves like ourselves, we would probably be killed on the spot. They commandeered our ship and took us ashore to lead us first to the lands and their lands, and then lead us to the lands of the elves, leaving a few of their men on board our boats to make sure that nothing happens to them. We climbed upon our horses, including the Bjornings, leaving Raven. A guide led us to the path for the next 3 days as we traveled through the forest into the rolling hills of sand and cold winds. While we were trekking through the desert, we happened upon some movement in the sand. Something large was coming up to us under the sand, and all of a sudden a large worm-like creature emerged from the ground, immediately eating our guide. We all rose to arms, although I couldn't hit it. Everyone else rose to the occasion and killed the worm within a minute. Once we spoke to the leader of the soldiers, Tealia popped up out of nowhere, announcing that we stole her kill, and that she's been worried sick looking for us. She said that I lost my book, which wasn't the case at all. It was Tealia's book, but she had to return it to me. We went on with the charade, which then in turn made our guides very nervous that the elves were looking for us. They ended up taking us to their village, and the two Bjornings decided to relax in the lodging that they provided. The rest of us did some shopping and recon. We found out that they are loyal to Gamul and that this is where they keep all their troops. Nearing the end of the exploration, Tealia and I noticed cages filled with children, about 20 of them from ages varying 8 to 23. Farmon, though angry, lost hope, but the rest of us couldn't give up. They had to be saved. We rushed back to tell the Bjornings what we found, and they were furious. I'm surprised they didn't bear shape right there and tear everything down. We all used that anger to spring into action. Tealia and I went back to the cages to get information from the children and to give them some of Oda's famous honey cakes. We made sure to grab extra food for our new friends, and that we were going to free them once we went back to our group to start working on a plan.
Past the Iron Hills and the rolling hill land of Wilderland in the country of Nagata, a few days into the Gelgada Desert, the town of Bûrz sits on the slope of a lone hill between thickets of trees. The sun starts to slowly set behind the hills, casting the few last hours of its rays on the mud-made walls that surround the town. The yellow banner flaps in the gentle breeze. The two guards that stand on the ramparts' yellow capes glow, vibrant and warm. Their fish-scale armor reflects the deep orange and reds of the sunset. Below, between the barracks and the gate, a guest home stands. Inside, just past the doors, the party meets. The hearth waits with logs that are just slightly covered with charring, ash in small piles. A few chairs and a table make the room feel comfortable with everyone in it. Behind them, the room is cut in two, revealing 2 sleeping quarters with beds. The adventurers have just agreed that something must be done about the children that are encaged a few yards away in the market. Their plan has been thought out, but now action must happen. It is 1 hour until dark.
Okay, look, I know, of course, it's only been like an hour, but personally, it feels a lot longer than that. I'm not sure about you all. So let's just go over our plan one more time.
Well, I think that the plan was to free the horses as a distraction and then take the children. Am I wrong?
It's as good a plan as any that doesn't involve staying here longer than we'd planned.
Okay, so who's doing what?
I can handle the horses.
I can break the cage open. Cage is open.
I suppose I will go with Farmon.
I wish there was a way for us to buy more horses. You know, for the kids. Wait.
Why don't we just...
What?
Mm-hmm. Is there more?
Do you have an idea, Issel?
What? Why instead of buying horses for the kids, we just buy the kids?
Do we have the coin for that?
Well, I hope so. I don't know how much. I've never purchased a person before. That sounds terrifying and horrible.
I mean, it kind of is, but your idea is not bad. We can buy them and set them free.
I wonder. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. I was just going to say, I wonder what everyone here would think of us buying them. Are we going to tell them directly that it is to set them free?
I don't know if it's really their concern to know if we set them to free or not. I imagine that their homes are not from around here.
No, they told us that they were down by the river.
About 3 or 4 days away, right?
In any case, it's best we don't let the Easterlings know what we intend to do with them.
I agree.
Would this be the best idea? We could continue with the... I want to weigh out our options.
Well, if we certainly think we have the coin to do such a thing, it certainly seems a less risky option for sure, and less chance of someone accidentally getting killed.
Yeah, I think that Odo's right on this.
What happens if we're outbid?
We could just buy them out all together. We could just say, well, this is a big if, though. This is, we don't even know how much buying a human being is.
So, Dave.
Yes.
Loremaster. So because this is like actually coming eerily close to what I do for a living, in terms of interpreting slavery, rather not selling children. So here are my 2 questions. Number 1, normally you aren't allowed to just free slaves. There's a legal process to manumit them.
Correct.
So the first is, if we buy them, is it easy or possible to legally free them, or do we just let them go? Secondly, how is the actual process done? Is this by auction, or is this just they have a set price?
Well, we don't know, do we?
Yeah, your character wouldn't know. The Loremaster, in his infinite wisdom, knows the answer to all those questions, but Tealia herself would not.
I would imagine that none of us know about, what slave trade is, or how it works, or how much it costs.
It's fair, but there could have been a sign next to the cages saying auction noon tomorrow or something.
So there was no sign. It does look like the stage is used for for auctioning. There was a stand, if you remember, where that happens, but it's worn, but it wasn't super worn. So if there are auctions, it's not an everyday occurrence. It is possible for you guys to somehow get that information through the town, but as of right now, you guys do not know either the cost, how easy it is to free them, or if they would stay free.
Now, Dave, Farmon's a fairly well-traveled man who does have the shadow lore trait. Is this the sort of thing that I could attempt a lore test to be able to know?
So you want to use shadow lore, which allows you to connect the pieces of the shadow and know things about the shadow with a lore test. Yeah, I would allow that.
I'm just gonna roll lore. I don't know what.
Yeah, roll lore for that. Okay, first roll of the night.
And it's a 19.
A 19 with a feat. So you're able to piece together, Farmon's able to piece together that as far as worth. Most of Middle Earth, other than parts of the Shire, Bree, and Gondor, don't run on a monetary system. Even where you're from, there is coin exchange, but trade is just as good. So they could be bought with coin. They could be bought with trade, values, promises, things like that. The actual price of them would probably vary on how the condition that they are in and how strong they are, how healthy. And what was the last thing that you wanted to know? How likely that they would stay free?
Well, I think that was the extent of the scope of my lore chest. Farmon's position, if anyone cares to ask, is that some cover should be devised as to why we would suddenly want to purchase a bunch of children. That's hedging pretty close to the shadow, the corruption end of the spectrum, lying and such as it is. But I think it's.
I would allow disguising yourself. You would not take shadows for disguising yourself. As Aragorn did such a thing, so.
Well, I do have this headscarf that I bought. This isn't D&D, we can't use seeming.
In retrospect, Issel does have enough from her background as prosperous to be able to make promises to purchase the children.
The question is, what sort of promises am I going to be making?
Right.
I also think that we should have like a plan B in case it doesn't work out.
Oh.
Well, there is always the set the horses free in the night and spring them in the chaos plan.
Yes, there is always that.
There's always that. I mean, I actually thought of that too. We should like have that as a backup plan just in case.
Well, but we're.
When are we supposed to be leaving?
What?
They did seem to have a bit of a favor with the elves. They seem to have some sort of respect. So maybe that might carry over in the markets, plausibly.
It's true.
Just a thought.
It's a difficult situation.
It is.
Another thing we have to consider is how are we going to protect them when we have them out? They might be kidnapped from us once again.
Also,
be put back where they started.
Decide to bid on these children or whatever we need to do. We're supposed to leave tomorrow to go back to the elves, so you would have very little choice. We would simply have to take them with us with some sort of excuse, but we don't know if the elves trade in slavery. I certainly hope my people would have no part in that kind of a thing, but it's possible. But it still might seem quite out of the ordinary if it's not true, and this could just be quite complicated all around. So I'm sort of leaning towards the free the horses in the night.
I'm also thinking that might be the better plan. If we're going to do anything at all, which I still think is foolish.
Well, at least you're along for the ride. Anyone else have opinions?
So if we free the horses in the night, we would still go back to the ship and then drop them off in their homes and then try to find the dwarves.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Just back to the original dwarf finding plan.
The standby.
Well, doing something's better than not doing something.
Yes, but which something are you more interested in doing?
I mean, as much as I enjoy shopping, I think the sneaking around is particularly interesting.
It's not really about what's more fun for you. It's about what's more effective.
I think for Tealia, sneaking around is pretty effective, given our previous experience.
It's true. So, are we thinking she'll go to the children or the horses? Because we can't make all the children invisible.
No, but they're also
tried.
less likely. They're also less
You
likely.
could do them one at a time with the bracelet. You should be walking back and forth from the cage, and there's one less child in the cage every time.
Yeah, but there's how many kids are in those cages again?
I'm being facetious. It's not a real plan. Oh no, what do you think? You've been very quiet.
Well, I guess I haven't seen the children yet, but based upon what you have said from those who have seen, say they're pretty sickly, pretty deprived of. Seem like they've been deprived of food. Probably don't have a lot of strength. I guess I have a hard time seeing them surviving a breakout in a run. And so, I don't know, after Issel mentioned possibly somehow us buying them, it just seems like a better plan for the children, at least initially. I don't know how there could not be losses the other way. I mean, we're not in a fair country, plentiful of things just growing, of food to scavenge. Especially on a quick run away if we do break them out.
We bought a whole bunch of food.
But even than that, a bunch of half-starving kids out in the desert running at a quick pace. I don't know.
Why would they be half-starving and why would they be running?
Well, they are half-starving, is from what you told us.
Which is why we have food.
It takes time for the nourishment to get back up, dear.
Poor Tealia. So innocent, so pure.
I mean, we wouldn't even be able to transport all of them. That's one thing that we were discussing.
I have one more thought, and that is if we go with the buying plan, and we have to take them to the elves, there's only a couple of men escorting us, right? We could probably easily overpower them.
Well,
somewhere in the desert.
Well, here's also the thing. Did they not give us a choice to go on with them or not?
Yes, but we decided to go, and we're here.
To change our minds? I mean...
Dave, do we remember seeing any shops with maps in them so that we could transport ourselves, or would my knowledge of New Ruin be able to get us to the elves?
Probably at least get back to the ship from here.
Yeah, we could definitely get back to the ship.
You'd definitely be able to get back to the ship. Your knowledge of Rune, it would be difficult. Definitely difficult. You'd be able to do it for sure. It's a matter of, do you just wander in the woods, or do you actually enter in a place where there are paths and civilization?
Well, we know which side of the river we're on, right? So we could just go towards the river, hit it, and then follow it downstream, right?
I don't see why not.
I don't see how there's any chance of getting lost.
No, I'm saying for her in heading to the elves, she would know how to get to the elves, but actually, are you at a place where there's a path to go meet the elves, or if you're just wandering the woods, would be in answer to her. You guys can definitely get back to the ship, no problem.
Also, if we tell them we've changed our mind and we're just going to buy these kids and go somewhere else, it seems pretty suspicious considering we're supposed to be elves of the East heading back to our home.
This is true. And if we do away with the garrison's mounts in the process, there's much less threat of their pursuing us.
How long was the trip here?
It was about 7 days.
Do we have rations enough for 30 people for 7 days?
Are you asking the Loremaster?
I'm asking you, yeah.
Yeah. You, with your hunting skills, you could take longer traveling, but you would be able to forage and find food along with your rations to be able to.
You just said we couldn't do that, didn't you? Someone did.
No, you can definitely use your explore and your hunting to find food.
For 30 people?
Yeah.
You can find enough so people don't starve. Yeah, you can.
Hey, why did you do this?
Do what?
Give us this. This is terrible. All right.
If it makes you feel better, I had this planned for like the last part of the whole entire storyline.
Then why did you save it for that? You're the one not going along with the plan now.
I get all the
Yeah.
flack, but no, it's the Loremaster all along.
All right. Well, we have to make a decision.
If you're worried about it, Odo, we could laden the garrison's own horses with provisions acquired contemporaneously as we make our exit. Some care will need to be taken to avoid discovery, but we've been in tighter pinches.
Well, I'll do what you all want, but I just feel there's high risk of breaking out half-starved kids and having to run. Whatever we increase our chances of being followed or not.
I'm worried about that too.
So would you rather take them to the elves?
Well, I don't know. I mean, as far as what step we take after we get the kids, I think I'm indifferent.
I kind of feel the same way. I just want to get the kids out of here.
Yes, but we
That's-
can't just do that and go. We have to have a plan. We will suffer if we do not have one. We will
What
regret
happened-
it later.
Well, what happened to the original plan then?
He just said he didn't want to do it.
Hmm.
And you said you agreed.
Planning is my favorite part of role-playing games. Right, guys?
Why the lives of innocence?
Yeah.
There is, so I will share this. There is, you guys personally have on you more than enough to be able to purchase food. Not enough for 30 people, but you would be able to purchase enough to laden a horse. And again, with
So we
hunting,
can purchase
But
30
we've
kids,
already
but
done
not
that.
the
We
rations.
did that last week.
No, you can. You have enough gold or trade items on you to purchase food. But again, you need a horse, and they're not going to be like feasting. They're still going to be hungry, but you'd be able to make it without starving or anything.
Didn't we already do that last week? Didn't
Yeah,
Zell
they-
and I just literally go around to shop buying food?
Yeah, they already.
Yeah,
bought
they
it.
did.
Yeah.
They bought
Yeah.
provisions for all the children.
Oh.
Yeah,
we are
well,
so strong.
I recall the purchasing, but okay. So help me remember the order of events. You discovered the children, and then after that went to buy provisions with the intent of giving food to them.
Yes, we bought like 300 Lunchables.
They
The
discovered
nacho ones?
Oh my god.
Several of them were
Pizza.
nacho ones.
they discovered the kids. You guys came back, shared with the Bjornings. Those two went out, talked with one of the children. At that point, they bought some food on their way back, and then you guys started planning after they had arrived back.
Okay, then yeah, that part is covered, right? We're good as far as feeding these people.
Dave, will we need more food?
Depends. It depends which way you take. It's a 2-day journey to the elves. It's a 7-day journey to the boat.
Oh, I think we have to pick the elves.
And
There are other cities that you could go to. Cities
Show
that
up with a bunch of contraband slaves?
Well, weren't they taken from the Riverland? If we head towards the river, will we not encounter some of their homes along the way?
Yeah, there are cities along the river. It's about the same distance to traveling to the elves. It would be 2 to 3 days.
Sounds like a plan.
But not from here. Because didn't you say it's a week to the river?
No, it's a
There's
week to
the
the
boat.
ship. It's a week to the ship.
I need
Here.
to look at the map.
Let me put you on the map, okay?
Must be so boring to watch. I'm so sorry to everyone.
I say we just pick the stupidest thing and do it.
All right. Are you able to see?
Yes.
So the black dot is where you guys are.
Right.
Bûrz.
oh, and this right here is a river,
Yes, that is a river.
and our boat's down here.
Yes.
Down where?
Sorry, I have a green marker thing, so it's kind of blending into greenery.
It's right here.
Oh,
Your boat's
oh.
down there.
Oh, wow,
So-
that's really far away.
Yes, it's a 7-day journey by horse. Now, the towns most likely are down here or up here more.
Okay.
Uh, So this right here, this part of the river is most likely where they're taking you for the elves.
What did you just... Okay.
If you go to where the elves is. So it's about a 2-3 day journey along the river before you find another town. It's a 7-day journey to the boat. And it's about a 2-day journey to the elves.
Okay, let's buy the children. Let's tell them we don't need them to take us to the elves. They can stay here, blah, blah, blah. And then we go detour to that one river town.
And where are the dwarves in relation to where we are right now?
The dwarves are quite literally all the way by the mountain range. They are a good, 2-3 weeks away. They are down here.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the map right now, and I remember the name of the place, and it's really far away. It wouldn't be a good idea to do that.
is quite far away. Yes.
Well, what does everyone think of what I said?
I think it's the best we can do.
Anyone else to chime in?
Sure,
Yes, Sarah.
Let's do it.
And if buying them doesn't work, then we could just go with plan B and just kind of go with it.
All right. If anyone doesn't speak now or forever hold your peace.
Let's do it.
Dunbeorn? Tealia?
I'm okay. Let's go.
No, we're not going now.
Well, let's go into action.
Sleep.
Just go to sleep.
Sure.
At dawn, we plan.
At dawn, we buy slaves. Ugh.
Okay.
That's cringy as fuck.
Why? Why, Your Highness?
Correct term is enslaved people.
It's exactly what's gonna happen. I did not make this happen. Look at it.
Okay. So you guys rest the night, taking one of the several beds in the separate rooms.
Just one?
And, well, I mean, if you want to take
Don't
more
split
than
the
one,
party.
if you want to take more than one, you can. But you're able to get as good of a night's sleep as you can, knowing the actions you're about to take the next morning. The sun comes up, and
Wait, do we get anything back?
yes, so endurance wise, you gain your basic heart back.
I don't. But no hope.
No hope. You gain no hope.
Hey, you
But
gave me one before the game, though.
that was personal.
Oh. I'll use it in my real life.
So you're greeted in the morning when you come out to the captain who had escorted you standing in the doorway.
Good morning.
Good morning. I hope that you're ready to go.
We actually just woke up and could use a few hours.
Very well. I'll come back in 2 hours.
Excellent.
I hope you'll find yourself situated.
I hope the same for you. Till the end of your days.
With that, he nods and not picking up on your.
So awkward.
He turns and leaves, and you notice outside of the doorway there were several men standing with horses, most likely the same 4 that had been escorting you so far. They leave, and you are now left alone with your party.
All right. Well, I just wanted to get them out of there. I'm sorry if I did anything wrong.
It's perfectly fine, dear.
But now at least we can go, shopping.
The worst sort of shopping I've ever done in my life.
So, I guess the other question is who's going to be our spokesperson or better?
We know who our face is.
Tealia looks at Farmon.
No, I think it should be Issel. I'm sorry, Heather. I'm not doing this to hurt you. I just think that because you're the one with all the money, and also I think it has to be one of the elves, just because they seem to have more respect for us than they do for the others.
Why not both?
I mean, yeah, I can be there. I'll be there as well.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Together, just the 2 of us, just
the
both
2
of us.
I mean, everyone else can be in the crowd. I don't know, unless you want to do other things.
I don't know how people are going to take to seeing 2 Beornings there.
Oh,
I think it would do them well to see you.
Actually, perhaps, yes, you could be our bodyguards.
I wonder if I could go buy some horses.
We already have horses, don't we?
But not for
Not enough for everybody.
Horses.
I don't know. But, Farmon says, while you're doing that, I think I'll have a few words with our guides. If I understand correctly, we plan on going on without them.
Yes, perhaps you could prepare the way for that to happen.
Yes, I'd like to get a better sense for where we're going and what the path along the way will be. So you'll find me there near the gate.
Make sure they don't suspect anything fishy, whatever you tell them. Use your silky smooth tongue.
Well,
Farmon grunts as he leaves the room.
Well, with all that said, I'll go with the both of you to see the children
Excellent.
I think I'll see about
as a bodyguard.
acquiring some additional horses. I feel like that's going to be a need.
I do think that Tealia should be with us as well if she was portraying herself to be one of us as well.
Oh, sure, I can do that. Someone else has the pack.
I have a kind of terrible idea. Tealia could be adding to her ranks. She seems like a child, and we're getting more children. So she sort of adds credence to our disguise in that way.
Well, that's quite a deception.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm just realistic.
Heather, a creeper yet again.
Oh no.
I didn't say I liked this plan, but what must be done must be done.
So I'm posing as your...
You don't have to pose as anything, you're just going to be there.
Sure, I can be there.
Maybe after you could be one of the familiar faces with the children that we ran into.
You did talk to them, so it might be comforting for you to be there and to see that it's not just two strange elven women bidding on them, for God knows why.
No, it's two strange elven women and one who knows what that person is.
Yes, but at least you've already made yourself known to them.
Sounds good. I will accompany.
Alright, shall we split the party?
Okay.
We shall split thrice.
Nate, I saw what you sent me. We'll talk about it in a minute. Oh, Quill's gone. Okay. So with that,
Sorry about that.
with that, we will start with Odo going to acquire the horses. So you head out of the small building which serves as the guest house here, and the sun is coming up. There's still very cool, crisp air. There's a stable not far from you where your horses are currently feeding, as well as several other horses. You do not know where the market is. I'm going to assume you asked directions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ask somebody. Just a normal townsfolk, whoever I see.
You see there's a few people out, kind of like most of them appear to be guards, as the barracks is right there. But they give directions saying you basically follow this street and then turn turn right at the base of the hill.
Okay, thank you. He goes that way then.
All right. As you eventually get there, and you notice there's all different kinds of shops leading on either side of the street, which eventually leads to a small flat stage, and you can just barely see what appears to be like two grayish, or three, I should say, grayish boxes or cubes on the left hand side. Most likely what has already previously been described to you as the cages that the children are being kept in. Most of the shops are just opening and have the shopkeepers are out and about, moving around, bringing out their rare wares to be sold for the day. Not a lot of people are shopping at this hour.
Okay. Do I notice the place that he told me to go to where I might acquire some horses?
All the way in the back towards where the children would be sold, there is a small, very small building that deals with trading things that can't be necessarily held within town.
Okay. If I feel like that's the place though, then I go in there.
Okay. As you walk by, you notice, in particular, one older woman that kind of eyes you. You can't really tell she's looking at you because she's so squinty and kind of wrinkled face. She just watches you as you walk by and kind of nods. You arrive at the shop, and there's a man. He's kind of shuffling papers and going about his what appears to be normal morning business. Go ahead. This will be an encounter, so roll for insight.
Alrighty. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend a point of hope.
Gonna hope that up.
I'm gonna hope that up.
Okay, sorry. Trying to. Okay. So what you notice is he appears to be a shopkeeper. His tolerance is set at 3. He's dressed just in like normal browns, nothing really fancy. He seems like an honest, hardworking guy. Awe can be used to try and intimidate him. Courtesy will work as well. Looking at him, he's probably not going to pick up on riddle too much.
Okay.
If you try addressing him with riddle.
Would I be use all not to intimidate, but to impress instead? Not really trying to intimidate him.
Yeah, you can try and impress him, and he would respond. You get the sense looking at him that he's used to dealing with people that would purchase things like horses, buildings, things like that. So he knows what someone impressive looks like.
Okay, I walk in, and I have a bag full of coins, and I just kind of plot. Is there a counter?
Yeah, there's like a table. It has papers on it. Basically, it's a small, like only 8-foot building, wide. So it's pretty tight packed, and basically it's all just tables with papers on it and scrolls and various things like that.
Okay, I come to the table and I just drop this big bag of coins on the table, like. Good day, sir. I am Odo, and I'm looking to acquire some horses.
Okay.
What do you have for sale?
Are you rolling off for this?
Yeah, because I'm like putting this like big old bag of coins on there, showing that I am someone
trying to impress him.
Trying to show like, yes, you want to sell to me because I can buy.
Okay, so let's see what your roll is.
19.
He looks at the bag and then looks at you, and he notices the ginormous wolf head that's just sitting on your shoulder, and the scars and weathering on your faces, and the huge axe that you carry. And he says, yes, horses. I happen to have some, not necessarily in my possession, good sir, but I more than likely can acquire them for you. How many, and what's exactly are you looking for? Are we looking for war horses? Perhaps you're laboring in the fields?
Well, I don't know if I necessarily need war horses. I need a few. I would like to see how many riding horses you may have to offer, and, well, maybe one war horse. I have a horse that can carry me, but I feel like I need one a little bigger.
Yes, well, give 1 second. Go ahead and roll your roll for actually engaging with him. He goes over and he pulls a large tome from one of the tables, and he starts flipping through it, and you notice there's different writings and things are crossed out and there's check marks, and he just starts scrolling his fingers down and flipping over pages.
What do you want me to roll?
So, however you're talking to him. So if it's are you talking to him through courtesy? Are you trying to persuade him? Riddle.
Well, Odo's not really like the riddling kind, but man, courtesy sucks.
I mean, you could always do awe. You could just be trying to impress him.
I'm a big guy, so I need a big horse, of course. Yeah, there you go. We'll do that.
Okay, that does pass. He scrolls his finger and then taps it at one point and says, yes, well, luckily there is a war horse not very far. It's grazing in one of my upper pastures, and he kind of indicates further up. The travel horses, though, that's a little bit harder. It seems that... yes. It seems that I have 3. I can get more, but I'm going to have to send word to some of my allies in the other towns and cities.
That would take some time, would it not?
Well, if I send it out, the day has just begun. I could send out a very fast rider and perhaps get one or 5 more within a few days. By the way, I've never rolled so many ones before in my life.
I think we can.
Let's hope that continues. Let's just keep that one going.
Here, I'm just getting them all out, the things to do with my encounter, so that when y'all do the big bucks with the kids, you guys are solid.
So are you interested, good sir?
Yes, I'm interested in the 3 horses, the riding horses you have on hand, and the war horse, of course.
Okay, now let's talk price. I see you have a bit of gold there. How about Nate, what page is this found on? Because it's too small for me to...
Oh, to read? Let me check.
Oh, never mind, I got it.
13 of Lake Town?
Okay, so you're talking... Well, let's see. The war horse I'm willing to sell for 5 gold. They are ever in need. We are a horse economy after all. The riding horses, however, 1 gold apiece.
That sounds fine. You have a deal.
Yes. Very good, very good. When would you like to pick them up?
How soon can you have them ready?
Smee! With that, like a little boy comes out, and you notice he has markings on his hands, most likely from shackles, and says, Smee, go fetch the horses. It will only be probably about maybe an hour or 2.
All right, very good. I'll pay you after I see the horses for myself to make sure they're in good condition. Is this agreeable?
But of course, I would not want to offend you, Captain. And with that, he kind of takes a step back.
No need to call me Captain. Just call me Odo.
Of course, Captain Odo.
Captain Odo. It's gonna be his new nickname from now on.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I'll be back in about an hour. I expect them to be ready.
Of course, Smee is very quick. He's very quick boy. Well, not too quick, but he's very fast.
All right. Well, thank you. And he then kind of just turns and walks out.
Okay. So next, Dunbeorn, Lostariel, Issel, and Tealia. You guys head out. Odo leaves to purchase horses, and are you leaving at the same time?
I would think so. Unless anyone has an objection.
Sorry, everything cut out for me. What happened?
I was asking, are you guys heading out immediately after Odo left?
Yeah, sure. I'm okay with that.
Okay. You guys walk a little bit behind Odo, and he actually stops and asks directions. And during that time, you kind of head up ahead of him and are actually just heading towards the auction place off to the side when he enters into the house. Again, you guys see the small old woman that had engaged with Tealia before, where she had bought her knickknacks, and she kind of looks at Tealia and then at Issel, both of whom she has met, and she just kind of smiles as she sees Tealia's hair, and with that kind of looks at each of you with a with a small smile as you head towards the auction stand.
So is the auction going on, or are we there early?
You're definitely there early. You look around, and as you're looking around, it is at this point that Odo enters into the house, or I should say the shop, not noticing that you're looking around. There's no one there. The children's food dishes are empty, and there's no indication of what time the sales might start.
Could we ask someone, like that old lady?
Yeah, I mean, you could try.
Just for reference, I would like to be standing kind of like behind, everybody else.
Okay. So you guys walk up to the old lady as she's kind of opening her shop, and she sees you and she says, "Oh, the girl with such the pretty hair. Come. I see you brought your friends this time."
Well, Lostariel has never met this woman, so she's like very confused.
I think she's talking about me.
Yes, you have such pretty hair, darling.
She does. It's true. You know each other.
We met yesterday.
Excellent. Well, my name is Lostariel, and we were just wandering around here, and we were wondering when the auctions might begin, if you know anything about that.
Oh, yes.
Do we need to roll insight?
You can. Yep.
Because I've never met her before.
Yeah. Yep.
Not
Go
that
ahead.
this is really going to do anything. Nope.
If Lostariel did roll for an encounter, you guys can roll insight as well. In interacting with her to see if you know anything.
Can I roll riddle instead of insight?
You can roll lore instead of insight.
I could do that. That'll be a lot better. Still bad.
You can always expend a point of hope. So Dunbeorn.
Dunbeorn knows how to talk to her.
Apparently, I don't.
You kind of stand in the back, and you're watching her kind of introduce or at least talk to your comrades. And sorry, my screen was freaking out. She seems pretty harmless. She's an old woman. She seems genuine. Most likely courtesy would work very well on her. She has a tolerance of 4. And as well, she will respond to awe or riddle, but the best things probably for talking is courtesy. She seems like she wants to help you as well. And she's very fascinated with Tealia.
Okay. Well, honestly,
Hatter's not the grouper.
I don't have anything in courtesy or riddle or anything like that. And well,
I mean, I have something in riddle, 1 in courtesy.
I have 1 in riddle, apparently, for some reason. But yeah, I guess
yeah, I mean, you guys can roll to introduce yourselves, and then you can roll to talk to her. You can try awe. You can try.
I guess I'll try awe. I mean, it's favored for me. Wow.
Nice rolls, guys.
Thanks.
Okay, go ahead and say what you're gonna say. Say what you need to say.
I have no idea what to say to this person.
I already asked the question. It just hasn't been answered.
Oh, she looks at you and says, "Well, it doesn't typically open just whenever. There's certain days. Today is not one of them. If you're interested, you could talk to the proficient. She's in charge of all the sales.
That's out of character.
Dave, you planned this? You hate us? You are the worst!
Who did you say we could talk to? I'm sorry.
Bacon.
I got distracted.
Yes, you seemed quite frustrated, but...
No,
you
Lostariel just like, clenched your fist.
The proficient. She's the one that is in charge of running this town. And she kind of like reaches towards your hand and just kind of like holds it softly in her old fragile hands.
What? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your help. You've certainly been a wonder to talk to.
Do you need me to take you to her?
Yes, that would be lovely.
Anything for her friends. And she like reaches over and kind of like pets Tealia's hair.
That is not consensual.
Very.
This is very
softly.
creepy.
But I'm going to use her.
Roll. Go ahead and roll insight, everyone. Odo. I'm sorry, Dunbeorn.
Oh yeah.
Dunbeorn.
Oh.
You have a 12 on it instead of a 14.
What did you say, Dave?
You have a 12 instead of a 14 for awareness. Or sorry,
Awareness?
I said insight, but I meant awareness.
Okay.
Keep the rolls that you had. It's fine.
There we go. They got a 13.
Okay. As she reaches and touches Tealia's hair, each of you are able to see very, very faintly what appears to be scarring on her wrists that previously had been hidden from her sleeves. But as she reaches up and pets Tealia's hair, very faintly through the wrinkles, you can see what appears to be scarring on the wrist.
And all the kids had that too, right?
Yeah.
So she is or used to be a slave.
It
You could
seem like that, yeah.
All right. She's still holding my hand.
No, she's petting Tealia's hair.
All right. Do you have time now? I don't mean to bother you, but we'd certainly like to go see this person.
Yes. I have more than enough time to be able to take you.
Oh, very, very good. Lead the way.
All right.
I sort of put myself between her and Tealia because I'm super afraid.
She lets go. She lets go of as soon as you say you want her to take, she kind of like it's strange because she just kind of like stops petting Tealia's hair and like turns and as fast as an old woman can go, starts walking up the path almost in like a waddling like motion. You follow the main street past the market and up the base of the hill. And the first few buildings look the same as those that you had seen below the hill. The exception being that here on the windowsills, there's a lot of rugs hanging out. You spot a couple of people carrying buckets of water, beating clothing, or going about daily tasks. The fourth building is nothing like the three that you passed climbing the dirt road up the hill. The roof is made of yellow clay that reflects like gold. The building itself extends 80 feet up the road. A veranda held up by 6 stone pillars, 3 to each side, extends to meet the road. A set of double doors painted black with a gold chariot painted across and horses following behind in single-colored represent a charging army. 2 guards stand to either side of the door, curved swords sheath, gold cloaks flowing back. Their dark eyes watch you through the narrow slits between their helm and veil. As you approach, they push back the doors. Inside, the pillars continue, holding lanterns that illuminate the windowless chamber. The walls and floors are made of polished black marble. In the back, a simple-looking chair of silver sits, slightly elevated on a dais. Behind them, 2 dark-stained doors stand closed. The woman looks at you, feeling a little bit nervous, glancing at the two elves and Tealia, but she remains, despite the discomfort that she feels of being in this building. As you enter in deeper, yeah, the doors close behind.
So they just let us walk in.
Yeah.
Why?
You can make an insight check if you would like.
I would like to make an insight check on the DM.
Why?
Nope, I do not know.
Yeah.
So where are we now?
You're inside the building, the 80-foot building, with the silver chair raised on a dais.
But is there anyone else in the room but us?
Not as of right now. There's two doors that are closed.
Is the lady with us?
Yes. She's standing there nervously.
So, what do we do now? I ask her.
Well, in a couple minutes, the proficient will come in and will address us.
And she just knows to come out.
They will let her know.
All right. Thank you for your help.
As though some alarm went off, the door to the right opens. A woman with dark hair that reaches just past her ears walks out. A long hafted axe set with emerald. Quill had to start laughing. A long hafted axe set with emerald gems at the back and gold inlaid on the flat of the blade and haft swings at her side. A red tunic with silver embroidery at the collar and sleeves, black breeches, and black knee-high boots that are trimmed in silver walks out. Her green eyes are hard, a mixture of malice and propriety. She sits in the chair, resting her hand on the top of the axe. I hear you have come to make a proposition for me, one that is favorable for my post. Which of you has this proposition, and who are these others that are with you?
I look at Issel.
Hello, my name is Issel from Rivendell. These.
Roll insight. Roll insight.
What? Oh no!
No, what have you done?
Hey,
Instantly die.
It's all good.
I totally forgot.
It's all good.
Oh
Everyone
no!
roll
And I have a
insight.
horrible
Everyone roll insight.
Oh, I just realized what I did.
No,
oh, no.
you're fine. You're fine. No worries.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Hang on. Where is insight?
I think I'm gonna hope my insight.
I don't need to hope mine. Look at that.
Holy crap.
Oh, I don't
Wow.
Skyler.
So you get 2 dice. Skyler, you get 2 dice.
Oh yeah, I do.
Actually 3. You get 3 dice for that.
Oh no. So what? So tell me, Dave. What does my insight tell me?
Is Heather going to roll?
I did with a solid 4.
Okay. So your insight reveals that she has a tolerance of 4. And only Dunbeorn knows this. Courtesy is the only proper way to introduce yourself. She has an air of someone of importance who does not take lightly threats or rudeness. She is a hard woman and ambitious. She will not suffer more than those who need to address her to be addressing her. And courtesy or riddle can be used when talking to her.
Well.
Oh God, I'm the only
default, so.
I'm the only one who knows this.
As well, Issel, this is what you would know from reading the book. Captain, Taskmaster, Proficient, Dragon Knight, and Blade Lord are the ranks in Rune.
Oh crap, she's like 3rd in line.
Well, she's not like ruling all of Rune, but like it's higher up as far as it would be the equivalent of like a noble ruling a small town or city.
It sounds like a captain. Then above it would be like a colonel, general. Type thing.
Yeah.
All right, so
You may now roll to speak with her.
What, all of us?
Nope, only those of you who want to. But
roll what?
I will remind you, she asked which of you has a proposition and who are the others with you.
And Issel started speaking.
I did.
I'm so glad that Issel's natural default is being very courteous.
Yep. Even though I'm horrible at courtesy.
Well, and you just revealed that you're from Rivendell.
Well, but it's okay. I just let her keep going.
Okay, just go with it. Go.
I have traveled far with these companions here. The other is an elf from this local land. I was told that the children here, the slaves in this town that be gathered here, are some of the best in the land, and I do need them to come home with me.
Roll courtesy.
Dave's eyes are like slits.
He's like very much thinking about every. Never mind.
Hey guys,
Never mind.
once I fail this, can I use group hope? Because
Yes, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
Please do. This is important.
Yeah, this is very important, so just go for it.
Oh!
Oh no. It's an eye. We're all gonna die.
I don't.
Oh, hey, that
suppose I
rhymes.
have 11 in heart.
Oh no.
What is your heart score?
Oh.
Do you have any traits that you could use at this
Yes.
I do, but it won't help because it's an eye.
moment? Oh, really?
Really?
No,
I just means 0.
it just means 0. It will.
Okay,
What are your traits?
I'm fair spoken, even though I'm not really fair spoken.
Let's just use that. It's fine.
Yep. So go ahead and invoke fair spoken. I will allow it.
Thank you, Dave. I'm trying really hard not to cry right now.
I thought that was going to get interesting.
She looks at you and says, "Rivendell, I've not heard of that place.
Oh,
And-
thank God.
You say this elf here is one of the land?"
That is correct. I'm trying not to cry in real life.
Well, I do appreciate your compliment on the slaves that we have here, children they may be. I'm most intrigued. Captain Gizik reported to me that he had run into some of the Avari, which apparently you're not, though you say your companion here is. This is very strange. What exactly do you want with these children? As you call them. And as she says that, she kind of like leans on the arm of the silver chair, waiting for your answer.
Uh-huh. Good. Tell me more. I own land back in my homeland, and I need strong arms to help raise cattle and vegetables and such in my local town.
This must indeed be a very large piece of land to purchase over 20 of our slaves which we are supposed to be trading with another city in order to get military alliances and more armor.
I promise that I'll make it worth your while.
Really?
Most certainly.
Oh, God.
And I take out all my prosperous coin, and I just kind of have it in my
Make
hand.
it rain!
Yeah, just kind of hand it out to the group and just kind of be like,
A pair of sunglasses just fall down from the sky onto Dunbeorn's eyes.
She looks at the coin that you have, and without getting up, she just pulls out her axe and kind of holds it up and lifts it and pokes the bag, and then still holding the axe in her hand, sets it on her lap. Gold is something quite easy to come by. I do not know if that is worth losing weapons, armor, and potential allies should the Lord call upon it. I am an ambitious woman. If I want coin, I can sell these children to anyone who would buy it.
What do you want? Lostariel cuts in.
She glares over at you as you...
I know about it.
As you cut in, she says, "And you? We have never had dealings with the Avari before. Why is it that you are here to begin with? I found it most peculiar when Captain Gizik told me that he ran across 2, as he reported, elves of the Avari, but now it's just you. What brings you here, and what interest do you have in these slaves? You were never one to help with our slave trade before. Why a sudden interest?"
Oh, God.
I, too, am an ambitious woman. I have far outgrown the confines of my home forest, and I have wandered far abroad, seeking adventure and opportunity. And in my wanderings, I have come across this elf next to me. She is of great influence and wealth back in her hometown, and she has taken me on and as a guide to bring her here with me. And so I do as she bids, and she, as she says, makes it worth my while. Now, what is it that you want? If gold is not valuable to you, what do you place your worth on?
Roll to for your interaction with her.
All I have is awe, so gonna awe.
Oh, dear.
You could use the hope point that I was trying to use earlier but didn't work.
That'll add 5 to it, so yeah, I'll do it.
She sizes you up, and after thinking for a moment, decides to continue talking with you, though you interrupted your companion who was speaking. Well, dealing with the elves is certainly advantageous, and you say you are a ambitious elf. Perhaps we could strike a chord. She leans over the chair, and you notice from the right hand of the door, one of the soldiers in the yellow cloaks walks out. She whispers to him, and then looking at the group says, "I must think about what price and what exactly everything it is that I heard. I need a minute." As she makes that gesture, 4 of the guards come out, standing basically on either side of each of you, forming a box rather closely, hands on long hafted hilts. And she stands, and without saying anything else, walks out of the room. And there we will take a break.
Okay.
God, this entire time, Dunbeorn has had his arms crossed, just No.
Welcome back, everyone. So the guards stand on either side of you, basically boxing you in, hands at their long hafted axe. The woman looks nervously around as this is happening, not wanting really to be a part of it at all. She steps a little bit closer to the large Bjorning, hoping that his massive size will protect her. About 5 minutes pass before she comes out. She's holding on to her axe in her hand, the point down towards the ground. She says, I have given much thought. Those slaves are meant to produce for myself more arms, more armor, and more weapons for my troops, should the Dark Lord call. I've said I am an ambitious woman. I have long heard that the Avari are gifted in the ways of battle, though none who enter their realms tend to leave it. So here's my proposal. You, and she points to Issel, you will give us information about this Rivendell, as well as your lands and any surrounding area that you have traveled. We will take that information and we will keep it. And you will stay here the night. I'm not permitting the captain to let you leave until we've looked into the information. And you, she turns to Lostariel, you will speak to the Avari about becoming allies with myself. Of course, if you are able to beat me in single-hand combat, then I will consider everything absolved, and you can take the slaves and go. However, if that seems too much for an ambitious woman such as yourself, then you will go with Captain Gizik to the Avari, and you will speak of becoming allies, and you will go on behalf of myself, Mirkiz.
What weapon would you use in this duel?
She holds out the axe.
And myself? Would I be free to choose my own weapon?
Well, it would of course be hand-to-hand combat, as that is what your people are famed for.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
I don't think I can do that, guys.
Can Tealia get up for a second here?
Yep.
Be like, and turns towards Lostariel.
Yeah, I have a 1 in sword, so I can't do that.
Welcome to my life.
Maybe
Go ahead,
she
Tealia,
could
sorry.
But
maybe she could either fight me instead.
oh right, there is like a really tall person. Yeah, if you want to take that.
I want to see what Tealia has to say.
No, I'm just saying this out of character. I mean, if you would agree to me fighting her, I mean, I could do it.
You are going to have to roll to persuade her, because as of right now, Dunbeorn has nothing to do with this. Dunbeorn, you do know it is risky. Your insight into her would know it's risky for it to be asked, because as of right now, you have nothing to do with this conversation, and your insight knows that she doesn't like people meddling.
I've been standing there just staring at her, like, with my hashtag fierce look.
Tealia?
What will it be?
Yeah, Tealia doesn't have enough wisdom to not say anything at this moment. So she's going to go turn towards Lostariel and go, excuse me, my lady, but I don't think it's fair for you to fight. I mean, I'm your champion. I can do it.
Tealia, no.
Tealia, yes.
I would never be such a coward as to ask someone to fight on my behalf, but unfortunately, I'm positive my skill at hand-to-hand combat would not come close to your own, Lady Mirzak, and I will have to decline this as I favor a different sort of martial art.
She snaps her fingers, and as she does so, one of the guards that's standing next to you walks forward and rips the right hand of your sleeve until your arm is exposed.
I pull it away from him.
Oh no.
Very well. Very well. Then your only other option is to go with the captain on my behalf to the elves. I will, of course, give you the children in exchange after we have found out everything we can about this Rivendell.
I look at Issel. And we... I'm just trying to communicate with you silently, Heather. To see if, we good to do this? All right, I say.
So many regrets right now.
I will.
I am regretting every decision I've ever made in my entire life. I am regretting everything.
No, everything's great.
Don't
We're great.
Everything's fine.
worry
I
about
will
it.
go to the elves, and I will plead your case to them, but I must warn you that they do not look favorably upon your kind, nor are they inclined to get involved in the affairs of those outside their ken. So I will do what I can, but there must be no retribution if I do not succeed. That is also part of our agreement.
I am an ambitious woman.
You said that.
Yes.
And nothing has changed, I know.
I don't take kindly to failures. If I am giving you the equivalent of what could allow me to eventually become a dragon knight, I need to know with certainty.
I thought it was Dragon Blade.
Dragon Knight Blade Lord.
Oh.
Dragon Knight Blade Lord. I need to know with almost certainty that your kin will at least compensate me with something that I can use. Though you must not be much of a warrior.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
I am just spitting fire through my eyes looking at her.
Well, Stariel is borderline amused by this woman now. She just thinks she's funny. But the deal that you stated did not include that I had to be successful. You only said that I needed to talk to them.
Yes, but the captain will most certainly be coming with you.
He will be in unfamiliar territory.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to protect him, just like you're able to protect the 20 slaves that you're taking.
Of course, I'll be able to protect him. That's not the problem. But I don't think that he will be any help in convincing my people to aid you.
She makes a gesture. One of the guards comes forward, the same guard that...
If you touch me again,
sleeves.
you will see that I am a fearsome warrior.
I'm gonna have to say roll off for that.
Fuck.
Could I?
No.
I'm. This guy is getting close to Lostariel, right?
Yeah.
No, he walked by Lostariel to the
Oh god.
the proficient, and she's whispering in his ear again.
Okay. Do any of them notice that I'm just like glaring at them?
Oh, they notice partially why they're at the ready, more than likely.
Oh jeez.
Ooh, tension.
You can. I will allow you to roll riddle,
Skyler.
Me?
Skyler. Yep.
Oh god, I'm so bad at this.
It's okay. It's okay.
You see?
Okay.
I rolled the same for.
Oh no.
All right.
She whispers, and I believe that's 2 failures so far. Your failure does not count, Skyler, because I asked you to make that roll.
Well, I did hope the other one.
Okay, so we're at 1. Okay. After whispering, the guard walks down, nods to the other one, and not placing a hand, but they step towards Issel, and she says, I will be taking your friend now to gather that information, and you're more than welcome to stay here while she informs us of this Rivendell.
I would stay with my lady if you would allow it.
I do not think it's necessary. After all, you two have just met.
No, we have been traveling together for some time.
Oh, really? And where is it that you've been traveling?
You would not know the lands, though you are about to.
Interesting. So you're on your way back to your kindred?
Yes, as I said before.
Yes. And tell me.
So many feelings.
I'm dying on the inside right now.
Tell me, what is Timdon Telumar like?
It is like nothing you have ever seen.
Yes.
Your paltry home would seem as nothing.
I am fidgeting so hard with my bracelet right now because I
That would
know
be real
we're being set up.
I'm pretty sure that Dunbeorn is just ready to just go bear form and just kind of scare the
Lostariel
crap
just
out of
wants
them.
to shoot this woman in the throat.
Do you miss it? The trees, the home?
Every day of my life.
Yes, and the sight of the golden treetops?
No. Not familiar with those. Perhaps you've seen different pictures.
I don't like the way Day is smiling.
She nods as you at your reply.
I feel like me and Dave are having a battle of wills.
Insight that crap.
You guys are.
Can I roll insight for that?
Yeah.
I only have 1 in insight, Nate, so don't get your hopes up.
with us.
Oh, look at that! Woo!
You're able. You catch it for what it was. It was a trap. She was trying to get you to say something that was not very much Kingdom of Heaven style. She looks at you and she says, "There's no need for you to go at her. My guards will keep her safe."
I don't think so. I'm staying with her.
And who are you exactly? And you can see at this point, she's visibly getting angry that she's being interrupted again by someone
out
who's
of
not part of the conversation.
Yeah, out of character. We've gone this far. Okay, we've come this far. I might as well jump in.
You do whatever you think your character's gonna do. That's all I'm gonna say. Do whatever you think your character's gonna do.
Look, he's not comfortable letting nobody go be alone in this.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, that's
We have ways for people to not be alone.
Yeah,
And
but
then to
they've
not know
seen
that?
you're here. You've already talked, so just bear that in mind.
Who are you?
Yeah,
Speak.
true.
You stand brooding. You have a fierce look about
That's
you.
true. Lord.
This is gonna go
The
down so
The
bad.
fierce look about her.
Nailed it.
Yeah. The fierce look. You could say I'm their bodyguard.
And fierce warriors need a bodyguard.
I just completely ruined everything.
Wait, what's your face say?
With knowledge of such beautiful or such amazing slaves as what you have, we would need all the bodyguards so that they don't get stolen.
So it was your intention all along to come and buy my slaves?
As I told you before, my companion...
Woman doesn't fucking listen.
As I told you before, my companion mentioned how amazing the slaves are here.
Yes. Yes.
5 stars on Yelp.
You you did say that, and yet I'm wondering how your companion, who's never dealt with our slaves before, would know that they're so excellent.
Uh-oh.
Do you want me to talk? Because I can talk.
You can talk if you want to.
Just do it.
As I said, I've traveled far and wide, including amidst your lands. Indeed.
You have quite a tongue. Perhaps you would you would find it better if it was removed. You'd be able to travel more stealthily and not end up in as much trouble.
Indeed, I don't think that would have the same effect that perhaps you suppose. I'm rather fond of my tongue where it is. But
Yes, it would be very pleasing to me if it was out.
I'm sure that it would be. Do you know what they say? Beauty's on the inside.
She raises an eyebrow at that.
Do we
Very
have a deal
well.
or not?
She holds up her hand, silencing you. You will go with the guards. I will allow your brooding friend here, who apparently is your guard, because in Rivendell you are not some kind of fierce warrior, though I doubt that this one here is either. He may go with you, but you leave your weapons here. And as she says that, she addresses
Dunbeorn
Dunbeorn.
is growling. You can shape into a bear. You're fine.
No, but
I will
no, wait,
take care of your weapons.
out of character, I can't really. Is it hard for me to part with my weapon because it is a magical axe?
It's I will leave it. It's definitely not what you would do. You would be reluctant, but really it comes into the character. It's the character choice. Aragorn was willing to give Narsil up. Gimli was more reluctant. So
Okay. Well, and then in that case,
You would not part a Bjorning from his walking stick.
he'll take his axe and then he'll hand it over to Lostariel.
She takes it and kind of goes, because I'm sure it's quite heavy.
Sorry, it is kind of heavy. That's what he says
All
to
right,
her.
I'll manage.
it's a shame that you didn't want to spar. I was most looking forward to finally seeing what the Avari were capable of.
Well, if you let me pick my weapon, perhaps you would have.
Yes, well.
I feel like we'd be frenemies in another life.
In another universe, in another life.
So the guards walk alongside Dunbeorn and Issel and take them into the back room on the left side. As you two enter, you notice there's a long hallway that extends to either end. They motion for you to head towards the right, deeper down, and then indicating at a door, they let you in, and you notice a large table covered in papers. They're in the back. appears to be shackles on the wall, and you see different on a table up by the shackles. You see different instruments, which do not look very promising. They close the door behind you and nod toward the paper, and the one guard just says, "Best be writing. You don't want to keep the pontiff waiting." Proficient. Sorry, not pontiff, not Catholic. Proficient.
This suddenly became a very different game.
Yeah, it did.
And he brings over a quill and ink for you to start writing. Meanwhile, out in the main room, the proficient who revealed her name as being Markiz just sit.
I wrote down music.
Markiz. She leans back in her chair, axe on her lap, and just kind of is waiting for the information to be given. Meanwhile, Farmon.
She is with Issel or with us?
No, she's in the main room.
With us.
Issel is with 2 guards, Dunbeorn, in a separate room. You and Tealia are with 2 guards, Markiz, in the main chamber, as well as the old woman.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Farmon is just completely oblivious of this whole thing.
I can't wait till Farmon just makes perfect friends with all the guards.
All right. So, meanwhile, Farmon, you are the rest of your party has left.
Actually, Farmon left first, if you'll remember.
I did not remember. So, Farmon, you left, not really knowing when the party was going to be going, and what exactly are you doing?
Well, Farmon's plan was to make his way to the gate, where he knows there are some guards posted, and strike up a conversation and try to extract from them some information about the general lie of the land and how you go to get to where and what to expect when you get there.
Okay. You exit out and you notice there are 2 guards, again, standing on the ramparts overlooking the gate with the yellow flowing cloaks, the black veil, and the helmet with the crescent moon. The barracks would also have guards as well.
Didn't you say the horses are tied up outside the barracks at some point?
Yeah, the barracks is literally connected to your building, and then the horses are just a little bit further back.
And that's including our horses, yeah?
Yes.
And how many horses are there total?
8.
Okay.
You'll actually see them in roll 20. You'll see the different types of horses that they are.
Well, Farmon will stroll up to the guards. Do you want to run this as an encounter, or am I just gonna roll a check? Or
yep,
I feel like
encounter.
This is less important than what is going on elsewhere.
Yep, tonight's the nights of encounters that the Loremaster did not prep for. So go ahead.
Okay. Once again, except this time.
No, yours was prepped for.
All really.
Yours was prepped for, Issel.
First, I'm going to. So as Farmon approaches, he sizes up the 2 men that he's walking towards, and is going to try and decide what the best way of handling this situation is. So I'm going to roll an insight check.
Okay.
And I didn't succeed on that insight check. But you know what? Farmon has some hope that he acquired. I'm going to spend a point of hope and bump that up to. Hold on, wait. Refresh my memory. A success gets me bonus dice elsewhere, right?
It gets you 1 bonus die. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't have to be a great success. So yeah, I'm going to spend a point of hope and make that a success.
Okay.
So what do I know?
You see the guards, and they're actually sitting just inside at a table, inside the barracks, and they seem to be playing at some stone game. You notice that on the table there's various stones in a pattern, and they each take turns lying down, and they appear to be connecting matching patterns to each other. Basically dominoes is what they're playing. They appear to be simpletons, not stupid, but they're definitely just normal guards, normal warriors that are summoned when need arises to fight. Their tolerance level is set at 3, and pretty much any way of talking to them would work.
So, courtesy, riddle, all of that would be fine.
Any of them would be fine. They're used to taking orders. You're a strange looking man, but unless red flags go up, they're probably going to talk to you.
Well, in that case, Farmon will fall back on his courtesy. He's met a few words, but the words he speaks are apparently fair. We've discovered over the course of the game. So let's hold on. Is the target number just 14 for all of these? Just standard?
Yeah.
Okay. Then Farmon will approach them and note that during this interaction, and honestly during the previous 7 days that 8 days now that we've spent in the company of the Easterlings, Farmon has gone out of his way to keep his cloak over the sword that he carries. But with his cloak only covering half of him, he'll throw the other half of his cloak over his body and offer a courteous bow to the men and say, "Pardon me. When I see you're playing at a game there, and as my companions are readying themselves for the rest of our journey, I wonder if I might join you."
I don't see why not.
Is that a little bit of a southern accent there?
I don't even know how I'm going to keep this accent, but sure.
No judgment, Dave.
You know how to play?
I do not. I'll observe.
Very well.
And yeah, so he'll stand there and he'll observe them play the game for a little while.
You watch and you get the basic gist that they're trying to get rid of their stones by matching other ones, connecting them in a pattern, and basically they want to get rid of stones, but they draw one if they don't have something that they can lay down, and so it seems pretty simple.
So Farmon will watch for a while and he'll say, "This is an interesting game. I think I've worked out more or less how to play it. We don't have a game like this in the lands that I'm from. We occasionally play a game of chess, but this is new to me. I think I quite like it."
Where exactly did you say you were from? You from Halman?
No, I'm a stranger in these lands. But I've been to many others. In fact, I'm not entirely certain where, in the grand scheme of things, we are.
Well,
this is certainly my first time here. And he looks around. He makes a show of looking around and appraising the place, and he says, "I must say, it's quite an imposing city you've got yourselves here. I've not seen any like it before." And he's complimenting. He's complimenting them on.
Go ahead and roll courtesy again.
Sufficient.
The guy looks at you and says, "So you're not from around here? I mean, Bûrz is nice. It's not the best outpost. I mean, Gaylala Desert has plenty, but as far as most of the cities in Gaynaga, it's decent. I mean, we make do. Certainly got enough money to support what needs to be supported, and don't too often get to go to war. Though, if the Proficient had her way, we'd probably be fighting much more. Very ambitious she is.
He nods and he says,
Everyone just
Well,
keeps saying that.
she nods and says, well, some that hold power are disposed to be that way, I suppose. I myself am not a fan of wars, and I've tried to avoid them when I could. How do you feel about it?
I am particularly like war. The other man who's playing against him looks at you and takes in your clothing and everything and says, "You're not from Gondor, are you?" And when he says Gondor, he kind of spits.
Oh, God.
Farmon holds up a hand and says, No. I've met a Gondorian in my travels, and I find them fairly pretentious, to be honest with you.
Met a Gondorian, so you're on friendly terms with those filth?
Because you met someone doesn't mean that you're friends with them.
he rocks his head back and forth. No, I wouldn't call our relationship friendly.
This is harking back to something that happened pre-stream.
But I gather that you are certainly not friendly with the Southerners.
I want to slit their throats. Burn their villages. Disgusting. None of them fear the Dark Lord.
Well, you are eager, aren't you? Do you mind if I have a go at the game at the next round you play?
Sure.
Farmon changes the subject. Well, what was that city you were talking about earlier? I didn't recognize the name.
Which one? Nardors?
What?
Nardors? Nardorz.
Nardors, that's a new one. Where is that in relation to here?
It's a little bit downriver. You had about, I don't know, 8-9 days travel.
That's quite a ways down the river. That's nearly to the sea, is it not?
It's pretty close. It's fairly large town, outpost. It's first defense if those that live in Halman get too rowdy. I liked it better there. Got in more fights.
I see. Well, there's never a shortage of fights in my experience. Was there not one? And this the land that we're in now. What did you call it?
Gaynaga?
Gaynaga. That's what I thought. To be honest, I've been trying to get it right since I entered your land, but everyone speaks more quickly than I can hear, I'm afraid.
Yes. So you're in Gaynaga, and you're in the Gaygala Desert. That's where Bûrz is located.
Oh, that's very helpful. Thank you for clearing it up for me.
Your turn to place a stone.
Farmon will play. I don't know how we decide whether he plays well or not. I'm going to say he intentionally plays poorly, so as to appear like kind of a simpleton himself.
I mean, you're not that good. Why don't we play again, but put some coin on it?
Wait a minute.
Do you have a feat in gambling?
No.
Is that actually a thing, though?
Could that be a
Gambling
craft?
is a trait, I think. I don't think I have any of his treasure that they've gained on hand anymore. I think I spent.
I mean, you would have some coin, and I mean, obviously, you have your stick.
No. Actually, no. Apparently I only spent 10 treasure previously, so I've got plenty of money. I could put like 1 treasure on it and be like, here is a heaping sum of money to place on the next game. But I think I'm just gonna fall back on his standard of living and say he puts a small quantity of money on it. Nothing flashy.
Okay. He reaches in and puts strange coins down that you haven't seen before, but you're guessing it's probably the equivalent, and he starts playing a new round. Roll riddle.
Oh joy.
You're able to successfully beat him in this game.
Oh, is it a opposed check? Okay.
Yep. It was an opposed check.
Well, cool. Does that count as a successful roll of riddle for the purpose of?
Yeah, we'll count it.
I'm cool with that. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically the approach that Farmon's taking to this conversation. Avoid talking about where he's been as much as possible, and try to extract information about the surrounding area as best he can.
In the course of the conversation, what you find out is this area tends to answer the call to war quite frequently when it is given. This would probably be relevant. You would find out trading, slavery is one of its main way of securing power and things like that. And they often will trade resources and things, basically making each section, as each kind of town is not ruled by themselves, but their military is kind of in charge of itself. And the better military you have, the more respectable you are in the eyes of the lords that rule over all of Rune. And so there tends to be some competition amongst towns. And so you get the gist that the reason they're not pleased with being here is this is an okay outpost. It's not one of the great ones like Nardor's is. And is there any other information that you wanted?
Probably whenever the conversation gets onto competing interests within the military hierarchy, he's going to be interested in that. Without sounding too much like a spy, he's going to try to extract a bit more about that. And can I roll persuade to see if he can persuade them to elaborate more on that, or persuade them to keep talking? That's what he wants. He wants them to keep talking about this stuff as long as he can get them to do so.
Okay. So go ahead. We can role play this out if you would like.
All right. So he says, you say there's some competition among your superiors. What do you mean?
Well, the way it works out is each town is basically run by proficient, and they're always competing. They want to be a dragon knight. All of us really do. They get some of the best horses, best weapons. They're recognized by the lords of the land. And then you have the Blade Lords, which of course are the best in all the land, and they report directly to the Lords of Rune in Dol Grim. It's not that great, obviously. And he looks around, making sure there's no one other than his companions and you around. Marquise, she's crafty, but she's new. She's just rose herself to proficient, and she's very ambitious, like I said, but sometimes I fear she might overstep her bounds. We might end up with someone else ruling this city soon.
That sounds ominous. Why do you say so?
The way. Well, since she's come to power, we've been doing a lot more trading. She's making strange deals with some of the other capitals, trying to secure more wagons, more charioteers, and of course, it's always great to have charioteers, but there are times when you want to go to battle with more than just chariots.
He looks thoughtful for a moment. He says, Dolgrim. It's quite a name.
It is the capital of Rune, where Kamul himself used to dwell before he was called off to serve our lord.
Called off. You're a land without a ruler? A ruler in absentia?
Well, of course, Kamul, he is the greatest strategist of this age. He would not rise in favor and blessing of the Dark Lord if he was not one of the best, but he has left sufficient people in charge.
Well, as I say, I prefer to avoid wars when I can. I hope to be well out of the way of the next one when it starts.
You're missing out. It's a beautiful thing.
Is Dolgrim a large city or a citadel?
It's more of a citadel. Very few people dwell there. It's not a very pleasant place. It feels off. Mostly orc kind and others, of course, that dwell there, and the council that rules.
You speak as one who has seen it yourself.
No, I've heard, of course, we all have. It would be a pleasure to be able to go there and see where Kamul ruled, where he won a victory over the line of Halman and took over.
Well, it sounds like the sort of place I'd prefer to avoid, if you'll forgive me.
As you're talking, your memory kind of goes back to a strange dream that you had months ago, where you relived the conqueror of the city. As well as he's talking and mentions the name, it pops up back to your head that is the same title that Raven held for herself.
It had occurred to me. As it occurs to Farmon. So he looks thoughtful again as he continues to play, and handily destroy this dude at his own game. He says, "Yes, I think I'd prefer to avoid a place like that. I've never had easy dealings with orcs myself. It never seems to end well for me."
I don't know if I so much fear the orcs as I do crossing the council. I would be most displeased to cross with them. In fact, I hear that one of the council members is going to be is going to be in Noradors in a couple of weeks, visiting to see how the army is progressing.
Well, that all sounds... He scratches his white beard. He says, that all sounds very ominous. If I wanted to, as I say, I'd like to avoid this Dolgrim. Where should I avoid?
Well, I wouldn't cross the mountains, that's for sure. As Dolgrim is across the mountains, though Eventually, I fear that everyone will be brought to bear at Dulgrim and will take me, if not to the gates of Mordor itself. The Dark Lord is rising. He is shifting, and soon Rune will be feared.
And Farmon's head just explodes.
Yeah. Farmon scratches his beard more animatedly in the back of his neck as he fidgets more and more uneasily. He says, "Even the elves of the wood and the dwarves of the foothills."
Dwarves are one thing. We've experienced them. So many of them hide and run along. We trade with them occasionally, and I don't know much about elves. None who cross the border here tend to ever be seen again, but I think we would have an upper hand. After all, the council is powerful in itself.
He nods a bit and he says, "Well, I know not where I'll be when that time comes, but well, I wish you well in it. You seem to be respectable men. I hope you find all the glory and fortune you desire when the time comes."
It will all be found when we loot Gondor.
Farmon gives him an empty smile and places the last piece on the board to win the game.
Huh. Beginner's luck, it seems. And he shoves the coin over to you.
"Indeed, I must agree," he says, collecting his winnings. He says, "Now, this has been fun, but if you'll excuse me, I think I should probably go find my companions."
Have a good day.
He stands and gets on out of there. Gripping the hilt of the sword at his belt under his cloak.
That internal screaming gif that I posted last week is perfect.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
All right. Meanwhile, in the house, or I should say the manor of the proficient, Issel has been writing down all the information she can concerning Rivendell and everything else.
I mean, as much as she can.
I mean, you could lie. You
Roll
could
riddle.
But no one's looking at it, so why does she have to roll anything?
If she's trying to conceal stuff.
Well, wait. I thought that.
Can I hope that up, guys? Because it's favored and it would be better.
Yeah.
Can I hope?
Yeah, you do it. But what I wanted to ask was that Issel and Dunbeorn are both in this room, and is there anybody else in here? Is there like
Two guards.
Okay, there's 2 guards. Okay.
Yep.
I'll just stay close to Issel as she's like writing.
I hoped that up and it's favored. So
Okay. Which is gonna make it a what?
9 plus 11, so 20.
Nice.
Okay. As you finish, the guards kind of come over. They pour some sand on the ink and blow it off, allowing it to dry and not run. They pick up the paper and escorting you out to the main chamber where your companions have been waiting. They hand what you have written to Marquise. She starts reading it over, and a confused expression comes on her face, and she says, "So this Rivendell, it's full of elves."
Of course.
And explain a little bit about what you wrote. She does not understand what you wrote, so...
Yeah, you want me to explain what I wrote?
No, out of game.
Oh,
Out of
yeah,
game.
no, I mean out of game.
Yeah, out of game. What did you write?
I wrote that it's a lot. It's a hidden place near the mountains that is very fruitful and is known for its farming and I'm trying to be as much information as I can do, but as vague as possible, and I'm not giving any major specifics, but I'm giving a lot, but not really,
She
You
nods.
understand what I'm saying?
She nods, reading this, and she asks, "And what kind of steeds do they have in this Rivendell?"
Yeah, they ride horses like everybody else. Well, that I've seen, of course.
Interesting. Good horses?
They're fine.
They're fine.
She puts the papers, hands them to the guard that gave them to her, and says, "Very well. You have so far kept up your part of the deal. I will give you the slaves, and you will be escorted to your homeland."
My homeland.
Yes, your homeland.
Let it be known,
it's-
Dave, I did not give anything about where Rivendell is actually at. Okay.
She wouldn't be able to figure it out if you did.
I am well aware I do not want to betray my people in any way, shape, or form. I just want this to be known.
It was.
It is none.
It is a good roll. It is a good roll, and her 8 is not able to comprehend.
Even if I kept my 9, I would have been
What?
okay. But 9.
If that was the case, you could have literally pulled out the map of Middle Earth and be like, "See, this is Rivendell," and she'd be like, "What is that?"
Right. I should have
So
pointed to the Bjornings and been like, right there.
No.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I would
I know.
loving the
Well,
mess-
Yeah.
they would have to get through our lands to get to your lands, anyways.
not wrong. So
she says, "Very well. I will have Captain Gizik escort you to the border of your lands," and she looks at Lostariel and says, "He will wait at the border with his soldiers until you come to give word of whether or not you are able to forge an alliance with your leader."
Very well.
I will set the slaves free. I expect you to be gone within the day.
of course.
You are dismissed. And you, she turns and she, indicating to Dunbeorn.
Hmm?
You have a fierce look about you. I would expect you not to cause trouble for my men.
Don't worry about it.
With that, she picks up her axe and walks through the door from which she had originally entered. The 2 guards standing beside you walk forward and open the double doors to the double doors leading outside to the veranda and the street.
I think at this point, Dunbeorn would get his axe back from Lostariel because. Yeah.
He's my courier.
Okay.
Once I'm out of eye shot of everybody, I'd like to go into a bush and throw up, please.
You, as you exit, the old woman's like, "I never want to be there again."
I forgot she was there.
And
I look at her and I say, "I completely agree."
That was most terrifying. You know your way. Good day. And she doesn't even try to fawn over Tealia's hair. She's just booking it out of there. She's she's done with interacting with you guys after that tense meeting.
Are there guards still there or not?
There's 2 guards outside, and then the 2 that led you out. So there's a total of 4 guards.
Are they escorting us, or are we?
No, they lead you out into the veranda where the 3 columns are to either side, and then they stop.
How are we supposed to get the slaves?
Word will be sent.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were asking that as Lostariel.
To whom? Word. What kind of word? They said we're supposed to leave today, so there's not a lot of wiggle room.
Word will be sent to Captain Gizik, and he will see that your slaves are brought to you.
All right. They better come unharmed.
They're but slaves.
You should just add that we need them because, they need to be in good condition.
I understand, but slaves have their purpose, and they cannot serve their purpose if they are not fit to serve.
He just kind of nods, not engaging, as clearly you are a higher of station. Though he is kind of interested, the man addressing you, as to why, having stood outside and not seeing your one shirt sleeve is just like ripped off.
Yeah.
So,
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's leave, please. Issel, are you all right to walk?
Yes, I'll be fine.
And I put my arm through hers to kind of help her along. Let's go find the others and see how they've gotten along, and give them the news that we are going to see the elves.
Of course. And I look at everybody and I say, dear friends, I apologize for forgetting our original plan of continuing to be Eastern elves. I apologize.
It could have happened to anyone.
And I'm sorry because I spoke out of turn, apparently.
We all did. Literally all of us. So. But you were the only one who knew you shouldn't.
Apparently.
What did you say, Tealia?
I imagine Tealia's been eating a scone or something the entire time. I think that went rather well, to be honest.
Issel's still crying, one tear just
I'll give you the final third of the scone.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Tealia, that's so lovely. Thank you.
Okay.
Blueberry.
So you guys head back down.
Yeah.
All right. At this point, everyone's kind of coming back from what they've been doing, though Odo and Farmon have been, if they're back at the home, have been there for quite a while, as it took Issel a while to write everything down. It's about noon when you finally arrive back at the guest house.
Did I get the horses?
Yes. Yeah.
And they were in good shape?
Yes.
I wasn't being
The
swindled?
best of shape.
Okay.
You were not being swindled,
Okay.
Lord Odo.
Oh my gosh.
Or Captain Odo. Sorry, Captain Odo.
So,
It's Thane.
as a recap, Odo got horses, Farmon got information, we got screwed.
We got the kids.
We got the slaves. The kids.
We did, but
We succeeded as best we could.
We succeeded as best we could, even though, I don't know.
No worries. It'll be
Yeah.
great. It'll be great.
Yeah. It's gonna be fine. Alright, so we go back to the house, right?
Yeah, you're at the house right now.
Dave, real quick. I was gonna go after when I was going to inspect. I was also gonna ask if they had any carts.
Why, yes, we do. Will you be needing some?
Yes, I'll need carts for the horses I bought. I have much cargo to carry.
Very, very well. I'll see what I can. Smee! Smee comes again. Uh,
Why does Smee never get to be in charge? Like,
Yeah.
ever.
I just love it. Smee.
um,
Free Smee. Hashtag free Smee.
Free Smee.
he
That's the
looks
hashtag
around and
for
he's like,
tonight.
I need you to fetch some carts for Captain Odo here. Be quick about it. Smee kind of runs out and eventually comes back with a couple of carts, 2 carts to be precise, and they're fairly decent in shape and size.
This'll do. And I have one more question.
Yes. What would it be?
Smee, does he work for you? I mean, as a hired man, or is he
I bought Smee.
He seems to be a good worker, does he not?
He's pretty decent. I mean, I definitely would want to keep him around if I was to lose a hand.
Can I
Why would you lose that?
inquire you? Is there a price that you would be willing to pay to part with Smee?
Well, it's not often that someone asks to buy someone else's slave.
Well, he seems to be so good with the horses
Such
and
a
with the
social
carts.
faux pas.
It seems that he could be useful.
Well, I mean, I would have to buy another slave.
And that's why I pay coin.
Good luck with that. We just took them all. I'm not there, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not there. Well, I mean, there were a couple in the current stock that perhaps I could purchase. I paid 50 gold for Smee.
You paid 50 gold.
I am
For a slave.
quite. I am
You
quite
paid the essential of 50 horses.
Yes, I run a business here, and I need someone to be able to go about and get what I need.
Well, it's
this
good
is
doing
almost
business
comic.
with you. You've done good at what you've done. I must go now.
Yes, come again, and perhaps next time you'll be able to purchase everything you need. Any kind of smirks.
Poor unfortunate Smee.
Sorry, Smee. I tried.
I don't think
So, Dave, did she take my coin?
No, she didn't take your coin.
You're still prosperous. Fuck.
Yeah. You're prosperous regardless, because prosperous is like a state of being.
It's a
Like
state of
happy
mind.
or sad.
In coin.
I
how-
wish it was.
So basically, Issel is just running around with a unlimited credit card.
She's able to get anything that she needs, yes, and live comfortably.
Just charge it.
So you end up making it back with the horses and whatnot, and everyone is now at the house.
Am I the last to get back?
No.
No,
This happened. The last to get back is the party coming from
Right.
yeah, the 4 of us.
Yeah.
I write really slow.
So when Farmon gets back to the little house and Odo is, I guess, I don't know who gets there first, but whenever it's just them, they're just sitting there, and Farmon's like, "Oh, I learned a new game from the locals."
Oh, really? You'll have to teach me it sometime. I like trying new things. I got 4 horses. Even got a war horse for myself. Should be. I'm sure the other horse will be much appreciative of that.
Yes, he was straining under your bulk.
Poor little thing. So, teaching me this game. How does it work? Do you have what you need for it?
We'll need to acquire some stones. And then Farmon will go on a mini adventure, a mini quest to acquire a set of these stones, and he'll probably go.
You're able to pick them up in one of the shops.
Yeah, he definitely goes and acquires a set of these game stones, and then Odo and Farmon spend that whole tense period where the others are under intense scrutiny and threat of their lives, and they're just in there like, yeah, no, this is how you do it.
All right, I'm gonna move this one. No. This one.
I slam the door open in frustration and walk in.
Welcome
And
back,
the rest of
Dunbeorn. We thought we discovered a new game. Farmon's better at it than me, but it seems kind of fun.
You guys are just playing games then?
I finished my task. Yeah, I got bought some horses.
We were playing quite a different game. Stakes were a bit higher, I should think.
To say the least.
But long story short, I am now in the proficient's employ, and we must go to see the elves and ask them to fight for Rune.
What?
I know it sounds bad, but really, it's all right. I won't really tell them
I
to
thought you
fight for
just
Rune.
had to buy the kids. What on earth
We
are you
did
talking
that
about?
as well. This is part of the deal. It was a little bit more difficult than we had supposed. She was loath to part with the slaves simply for money.
The
So
proficient is an upstart.
Yes, it's true.
I did
She's
get-
clawing her way up the ranks.
Yes, I heard as much from the guards at the gate.
Yeah, she's a real bitch.
Was there no other option but doing what you said?
There was one other option that would have resulted in my death.
Your death.
She wanted to fight to the death, but I would have had to use a weapon I am not comfortable with using. She would not have allowed me to use my bow.
Dunbeorn
I
just points
felt
to his
that
axe.
That would have had 2 bad outcomes. I would be dead, and we would not have the children. So I opted for the lesser of 2 evils.
I suppose that there is a good thing about this. We have the children.
That's
Yes,
our goal,
but-
so.
We are being accompanied by Captain
Gizik.
to the borders of the Elvish land, and the children are going to go with us. Unless we slit his throat along the way. But I don't think that is necessarily the best idea either.
Well, we'll see what happens.
You just
Always trouble.
Maybe a
all around.
sandworm will come up out of the ground. And meet
Well,
Yes, next time we encounter one of those worm beasts, we should just stand back and let the captain and his...
Yes, it's
Let-
true. We shall protect
just-
the children, and they shall fight the worm.
yeah. We're just like the cheerleaders on the side of this. Like, yay, go Captain Higgins.
Here, you go first.
about 45 minutes after the party regroups, Captain Gizik comes, and behind him 20 malnourished children in rag-like clothing show up behind him. Those of you who have not tested yet for anguish, please roll. This would be a corruption test.
Which is wisdom?
Wisdom.
What is our target number?
14.
Ooh,
Oh, Grayson.
I get... Oh, come on.
Just give me 1 second to do this. It's just wisdom, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, I passed, but I got an I.
Man, we're gonna.
How does that work?
We're gonna get another encounter before the end of tonight.
Yeah.
So wait, Dave, did I pass it? Even though I
You
got an I?
pass, yes. Yeah, you pass. The I counts as 0. The I just counts towards the enemy awareness of you.
Oh God. Okay. Well, apparently I passed, but I also got an I. This is gonna be fantastic.
I'm going to spend a point of hope to pass my my test also.
Okay. So
So will
Quill-
I.
okay. I was gonna ask if Lostariel was as well. Okay.
You just go, the
Upon
hope.
upon seeing this, your spirit feels downcast at such evil. But now, in the light that they will be free, you feel a sense of hope coming. Captain Gizik meets with you and says, "Are you ready to get going? It's much later and far more people than I thought I would be taking, but it's all prosperous."
Yes, I believe we are ready to go. Right?
What time of day is it, by the way? It's
Noon.
noontime, you said. Okay.
Noon.
All right.
Yep. Okay. Make a travel roll.
All of
No,
us?
me.
Oh,
We'll come back for Smee.
Yeah.
Or you can go run off and get him right now.
Can I just give Odo all my coin and just kick him out the door and have him grab Smee and have him come back? Please.
you don't know about Smee.
So
Yeah.
there was I was shopping when I was buying the horses. There's slaves all around the place, but there was this one in the shop that was helping the owner, and he seemed like a very good. Wait, how old does Smee look?
Probably about like 11, 12.
And there was a lad in there, and he was a very good worker, very good. He knew what he was doing with the very good care of the horses and the carts, and I felt compelled to see if I could help him out and try to free him, but the cost was astronomical. I couldn't believe it. The shopkeep wanted 50 gold, essentially the price of 50 horses for Smee. So I don't know if that's him just wants to hold on to him, or he's really that valuable and that good of a worker. I'm not really sure how all this stuff works over here.
50 gold, you say?
50. Like,
50.
like, that's like years worth of income for a normal folk.
Like this?
Ah! What? Where did you get all that?
I'm really good at my job.
Apparently books do something.
All right.
Well,
Just
okay,
take the money.
let me okay, I'll be back.
Just go get him.
Or leaves with all the gold.
You run back and the man's like, you again, I see.
Yes.
Need something else.
I changed my mind. I can pay the price for Smee.
Smee. The boy comes out. Meet your new owner, Captain Odo.
Nice.
He kind of
Owner.
he nods and he's like, hello, Captain Odo.
Hello, Smee. And he looks at the shopkeeper. He's like, I appreciate it. Thank you. Smee, if you got anything that's any personal or anything that's yours, I'm sure you can. And he looks back at the shopkeeper. I'm sure you can let Smee take his personal effects with him. Can he not?
Smee looks up at you and he's like, I have the only thing that matters to me. And he pulls up like a ship, like a little toy ship that's like this big that he was just carrying around with him in his pocket.
Well, Smee, you're mine now, and He's keeping. He's no.
Why? Okay, why?
No, it's the culture. He doesn't want him to think he's freeing him. Come on, I have the horses ready. We should go.
Okay. And like he follows behind, head down, trying to be respectful of his new owner, Captain Odo.
After we get
gigantic.
After we get away from the shopkeeper, he kind of would tell Smee, come here, please.
Yes.
You need to get down on one knee because you're gigantic.
He's gonna get down. He's gonna get onto eye contact level because that's how you talk to kids.
Your head is ginormous.
Which one?
It is, isn't it? But I want to let you know, Smee, that I'm bringing you with me, but you're free.
I don't know what that means.
It means you'll be able to find a place of your choosing for you to call home and start your own life.
A tear kind of like trickles down his cheek, and he says, if you say so, Captain Odo.
And please, don't call me Captain Odo. Just call me Odo.
Captain Odo and Smee. Now you just need a hook for a hand.
Okay, if you say so.
All right, well, let's hurry. The day is getting old, and we have much traveling to do. And he'll also pull out a honey cake and hand it. And here, I have something I think you may have not tried before. Try not to let it overwhelm you.
He takes it and starts eating, and he's like, oh, that's very sweet. And like he just keeps stuffing his face.
It's the good stuff, though.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of some of the cooking that you can find in my lands.
Oh, I want to be free where you are, Odo.
Well, if that's what you end up choosing to do, you're more than welcome.
Trust me, Dunbeorn will also make a case for Smee to live with the Bjornings if he has to.
Hey, Bjornings are a grouping of people that hail to the call of Bjorn, so.
That's true. Okay, so you get back with the rest of the group. Oh, excuse me. You get back to the rest of the group, and Captain Gizik very much wants to go and kind of be on his way.
We're ready to go, I believe.
All right. Let's head out. So if you didn't make your travel roll, please make your travel roll.
Okay. Oh God.
Now we have.
God damn it! I will help it.
Don't forget. We got my honey cakes thing.
Oh, what does that do again?
It lowers the TN.
It lowers the TN by your wisdom, your individual wisdom.
Oh,
score.
perfect. Mine's 2. So I made it.
And we're riding horses, and the horse tells you.
You are riding horses, and the horses reduce. Yes. So if you look up here, horse riding bonus, it adds +2 to your travel roll for the keyword tireless.
Oh, okay. So perfect. I'm perfect.
So
I'm absolutely perfect.
So I passed it.
All right, I'm just gonna roll first before I even ask the next question.
I passed because if it's down to 10, then all right, cool. I passed.
I passed.
And what was your question going to be?
Well, I was just gonna ask, since I got a war horse, is that the same equivalent as a horses of Bûrz?
Yes.
Okay.
It does not have the keyword tireless, so you don't get the +2. I don't think I gave the war horses the keyword tireless.
Oh, but it had the
it has the keyword fiery and strong.
Right, but what's the riding bonus? Isn't that for the fatigue?
Oh, that's -4. No. That's when you're doing a riding test to go into combat. It reduces the difficulty to charge by 4.
Oh, it says the charge bonus is 5+.
Yeah, so five. So I'll explain this. Basically, the riding bonus, when you charge a horse, you have to make a athletics test. Your athletics test is reduced by 4 because of the training of the horse. So fiery will give you another 1, making it 5, and your charge damage is raised by 2, which means it would be 7.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Understand?
I'll deal with it
Yeah,
later when the
yeah.
time comes.
Basically, the keyword tireless is what gives you the +2 to travel, which a war horse is trained differently, so I did not give it that keyword.
Nope, no problem. I passed anyway, so I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you start heading eastward, and the sun starts to set. Captain Gizik informs you it's a 50-mile travel until you will reach the river. You make camp that night, and the children huddle close to the fire, having mostly spent their nights in cages, not being protected from the cold. On the second day, as you're traveling, you notice dust rising up, and in the distance you see a caravan with large crates being pulled in the direction of the city. It appears as though a fresh shipment of slaves is being taken to the city of Bûrz. You travel on your way and eventually reach a swift-running river, across of which giant trees with red leaves extend up, the sunlight shimmering on them like a sea of blood. Your escort trogs along the bank down the river for a few miles until a stone bridge comes in view. On the other side, an opening in the forest stands with a white path leading in deeper. Everyone roll an awareness check.
What's red dress?
Okay. Oh, what did I do? What?
What is red trust?
Whoops.
Trees. Red trees.
Oh.
Sorry. Double tapped and omitted.
Yeah, I got a 13
the
on my.
Here, let me roll.
Wow.
Wait, what time of day is it? Is this evening now? Or
No,
this
it's
next
not
day?
evening. It's next day. Yeah, it's
Okay.
early. It's about noonish. Okay. Massive ancient trees from the elders' days spread before you. Large red leaves form a canopy. A white stone path leads into darkened woods. The road is 12 feet wide and appears to be well tended, though it is hard to tell how often it is traveled. As you walk deeper into a forest, the chill of the desert is replaced by a warmth. Off the road, the air has a reddish glow from the sunlight penetrating through the leaves above. The forest feels old, ancient, as though those that dwell in it have seen ages long forgotten. Memory of things that even the first elves have long forgotten, answering the call of the Valar to join them across the sea in Valinor. Here, even the eldest of you feel young, as though the days of glory long past have come again. Overhead, you hear the faint rustling of leaves. Ahead, a small leaf falls slowly down, landing in stark contrast on the white stone road. The children huddle closely to you. You walk down the path and it slowly starts to curve, heading deeper inward. When the branches start swaying more, everything happens suddenly. You hear a scream and some of the children start to run off the road. Before you, 2 massive giant spiders stand on the path. Their 8 eyes staring at you, legs extended, fangs bearing. And that's where we'll end it for tonight.
This is not a problem.
2 spiders.
I'm not worried about it
2
at all.
giant spiders.
I am just worried about the kids running away right now.
You guys go get the kids. I'll take care of the spiders.
So, thank you everyone for watching. If you missed anything, you can check it out on YouTube. It will be posted. And join us next week to find out what happens with our adventurers. Ciao.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
See you next
Bye.
week.
Watch me and Princess Quill.
Go follow Princess Quill.
And we're off stream.